The Enlightenment Chasers. Royalties of Peace. We are still in the storms back to peace that has no storm while looking onto perfect peace. It is May 21st of 2025. And yesterday was the National Day of Cameroon, La Fête Nationale du Cameroun, also called the Unitary State Day, Fête Nationale de l'État Unitaire, celebrated annually on 20th May. In a national referendum, a national electorate on a political question for a direct decision to be made, a plebiscite for the approval of the constitutional reform. The decision made on this very honorable day of 1972, May the 20th, concerning the Cameroon government was unsatisfactory according to the Southern Cameroonians. The birth of suppression, like unto the colonial masters before this Independence Day, presenting some suppression of the French over the English Cameroon, the majority over the minor, a proof that suppression is not about color race, nor of sex and gender, but due to knowledge deficit. Realizing the calling to humanity over all other creatures and existence, characterized by their high intelligence, high cognitive skills that facilitates successful adaptation to various environments. Their high development of sophisticated tools and formation of complex society structures and civilization, but for the obstacle in their way, which is the increasing in population, leading to invading spaces of each other or of other existence, with sensitive values, social norms, and language barrier becomes a disruption of a balanced tradition of every development. Such leads to anxiety and the chaos of a present human world. True that before we are a community, we are first individuals with distinctive minds on a journey to perfection of every growth and development, peace leveling up to a better life and experience. Yet, any disruption or contradiction provokes curiosity than what we call hate. Hate is a strong word for the main word curiosity. A kickstart, often mistaken for war or confusion or conflict, but an awareness of the need to continue to grow of the mind. Curiosity does not kill the cat, but how curiosity is being approached. Vandalism is not the best way to approach curiosity. Education has really been a support during the time of malevolence to yield benevolence and morality. Curiosity is always only for a time, for there is that inner expression, yearning for satisfaction, the inner sanctum, giving us courage to solve the disruptions in the way of our resting grounds, the search for the destination perfect by obtaining balance after a disruption, the rapid growth in technology stands out. To overcome the population growth, not to be a companion, not to be the reason for increasing population, but rather to reverse the increasing of population. A supposed inverse relation we experience like a direct, a parallel relation. Growth of knowledge should not be parallel to the increase in population, but rather an inverse, in which we will choose rather the growth of technology. That reminds us the necessity of living a life of celibacy, independence, and luxury. Before we are a community, we are all individuals with sensible lines that must be respected. According to Wikipedia, humans are not of origin. Who we are today, claiming we started of another species to the Homo erectus, the upright human, which is of extinct today, that led to the Homo heidelbergensis, the last common ancestor of the modern humans today. the most widely distributed species, both geographically and temporally, improving in agricultural tools and other tools, industrial tools, until today, the AI world presenting to us a sophisticated development of the human race, indicating we seek comfort than increase in number. Though called omnivorous beings of origin, we must realize that omnivorous is rather the shadow, a priority to work upon to return to our true diagnosis of being herbivorous, which is the battlefield of the mind, chewing, restlessly, until we reach the wisdom age, where the wisdom tooth reminds us of our infancy with no teeth in the mouth, yearning for integrity, the completion of the human life, the mind battlefield free we must become through education. We are able to achieve benevolence that can bring us peacefully to the place of perfect peace of the mind. Our true identity, not even found in this journey, can be felt from within, growing like in this cocoon, and the cocoon must vanish. For the within, our true being, to take flight, like the gaseous state of ice and water, with no collisions, must its particles be at the end, far from each other, until unseen is the invisible, the mind, perfect peace. Battlefield free we must be. Before humans left from Africa to colonize Asia and Europe, according to research and dating of their fossils and remains, according to Wikipedia, we must realize no work should return void. Though we do not promote such kind of researches, let us permit the work already done to fulfill its purpose while we come to an end of it. Rest requires integrity and not despair. Rest requires integrity and not tiredness. At the present time, we are experiencing a transitioning from the desolation state of dividing and going afar from each other in the physical state, not fulfilling like of the mind, returning. In the physical state in which we are, together is division and afar is still division. May seem like there is no place of peace of mind, but rather the state at which we are cannot experience what the within has in store. Because this is only a journey, you may only have the destination in mind. Until you reach it, can it be fulfilled? Independence is very important. We must understand the conflicts we have of suppression. It's not by the desire of those suppressing, but the misconception of our journey. The enlightenment chasers we are all about completing this journey to the destination. We cannot keep on having the destination in mind and never reaching it completely. No more descending others when we are on a journey to integrity. What is infancy to wisdom age? What is infancy to integrity? What is distrust to integrity? The experience of Cameroon with its suppressing sibling of the same bond is almost the same experiences everywhere. South Africa, on visiting the White House in the USA today, May 21st of 2025, Wednesday, His Excellency President Ramaphosa in the White House today with His Excellency President Donald Trump on the matter on trade. Later was His Excellency President Ramaphosa accused of permitting white race genocide in South Africa, claiming the white race farmers are being killed and oppressed to farm. Agriculture abuse is not allowed. So, what will really be the necessity to talk about trade when such calamity is being experienced? His Excellency President Ramaphosa, after seeing the evidence of pictures being shown, pointed at the opposing economic freedom fighters, EFF, party, not part of the governing coalition, but under the government. What is that supposed? To the people, is the government not supposed to be in charge of its country? The suppressing power should be able to take control. Is this racial, or is this a revenge, but rather the misconception of human purpose, the fulfilling of our forefathers of the Enlightenment? We are the Enlightenment chasers. How do we even point at each other when we have all failed? Understanding the purpose of the Enlightenment, to live a luxurious, sophisticated life while entering into integrity. How do we abuse humanity? By reproducing and bringing in those in the inner sanctum into the infancy state of despair, where the war actually is, requires knowledge. There is knowledge deficit. All of these problems are surfaces of the underlying, the increasing in number and invading spaces. You cannot enter into another human being. That will be a conflict. For before you do so, the one will be no more in this present state. The one will not be of expected identity to even govern the body in which you want to be in. Collisions. Why are we colliding? What the White House is trying to present to His Excellency President Ramaphosa is no different from what is taking place in the United States of America either. Having the oppressing power, the Republican Party, the present administration, over the people, claiming to be the Democratic Party in support, but not understanding where the problem is. Invading spaces, increasing in number, takes away jobs from others. When one job cannot feed a house, when a paycheck to paycheck is not even enough to sustain an individual, what more of a family? The Republicans accused of starving the families of America. The Republicans called the rich are accused of suppressing the family classes. Might not be like blacks in South Africa being accused of laying their hands on the white races in South Africa, but through the economy, as some in the USA losing their lives in the hospital of not having enough health care provisions and even home care and even protection, mentally enslaved. We are all over the world, one way or the other. South Africa is thinking maybe with a trade with USA could suppress this malevolence in South Africa. It's always about the economy. The air we breathe is economy. Without the economy, you can't even breathe oxygen. Without money, you can't even breathe oxygen. Money and air, money and oxygen has become like male and female, which you must have in order to call life worth living. It is not really about race, but our population density. It is time we come to our senses. Since the president took over at the White House, January 20th, yesterday, May 20th, about 4 months, we're experiencing all the same story of population growth all over the world and its impacts on the people, rather than the technology reaching its sky high of development. Where are we the people when the tools are all available to work? The laborers are few, the harvest is much, plentiful. It's time for education to fulfill its purpose. By our recovery from the knowledge deficit concerning the obstacle in our way of making infants a disability state of humanity, rather than healing from it, educating a child properly to reach perfection of being, integrity, and not despair, our wisdom age must be. I hope this message is edifying while we travel this road. Of peace still in the storm, back to peace that has no storm, while looking on to perfect peace. None left behind, our mission. Thank you. Must we remember, we need not go to the ocean to know what water is like, when a drop is sufficient. We need not a worse to happen to us, when what we experience now is enough alarm to bring us to our senses. Thank you.